So this is a Community Kickback Part 1. It is a series that I'm running through February and March for the Black creators on all the accounts. So the live may be here on Instagram, we may be over on Substack, we may be over on YouTube, but ultimately this experience is for the Black creators to support each other and for you guys to see some of my favorites, hopefully find something new. There's a lot of things going on in the creator world, and just like what all the stores are doing, the creators are feeling it too, because if you post anything that is community based, it feels like there's not a lot of engagement around it. So I feel like the way to mitigate that is by having a bunch of different lives with a bunch of different people. We can all support each other. But the way to get around that is by us celebrating and supporting each other. So I'm gonna invite in my first guest and let them introduce themselves. Danessa, if you're on here, go ahead and request to join.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good morning.
Did it scare you?
Yeah. I've never been live before, and I was like, oh my God, my face.
Yeah, because like even when you're like doing the lives, like I set it up so that I was like in the middle of the frame, but when another person comes on, then you're like switch and change.
Yeah.
How are you? Well, let me introduce yourself. Let me let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Danessa Domingo. I am half of Food People Love, where we just showcase food across Tampa Bay and different experiences. So, yeah, happy to join with you.
So we're both in Tampa.
Yes.
And I have been following. I've been following you for a while, for a long time.
Same.
And I was like, she lives here, I live here, but I've never met this person before.
Yeah.
Why? Why have I never met this person before? We both live here. And to be fair, we live on opposite sides of Tampa.
Yes.
So it's not like we would just run into each other. Tampa's kind of a really, really, really big area.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like Tampa. There's all these outskirt cities and we all call ourselves Tampa, but it's not.
Yeah.
So I reached out to you because I feel like a lot of things are going on in the creator community right now. And just like in the community in general. But as far as when things happen out in the world, it kind of like affects us double. You know what I mean? So we have all this stuff going on with the climate that's happening right now, but also online, we're also seeing the effects of that. Just with people are talking about their pages like randomly being shadow banned and a whole bunch of other things. But this is a space for celebration, so we're not going to give any energy to that.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about, though, because you do food, I want to talk about your experiences with like small businesses, small Black-owned businesses, and their restaurants versus like going to a chain restaurant, like maybe, you know, Red Lobster. Does Red Lobster exist? Anyway, like Red Lobster or something like that. Like, what has that experience been, and what can you share with others to have them support small businesses or small restaurants better?
Yeah. So what I've seen going to like smaller Black-owned businesses is that it's usually more family run, right? Mm-hmm. So you have generally the whole, like if the parents are cooking, you have the children taking your orders, and it's just, you just feel like you're coming to like your family's restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I really love that aspect. It's more homey, smaller. Usually with chains, you just, you know, sometimes you have really great experiences too, but it's kind of hit or miss, and you don't really know, there's no really connection feel to a chain restaurant. With the smaller businesses, you get more family owned recipes that have been like passed down. So that also feels more special. So you get more unique food experiences that you can't really get anywhere else. Yeah. But that's kind of the pro to going to chain restaurants, that you can get, you know, different of the same restaurants and same feel and same food, different places, no matter where you go.
Right.
For smaller businesses, sometimes the hours are more limited because, hey, they got to take their kids to school, or, you know, maybe they just had a baby, so they have to shut down for a couple months. So it's not as consistent. Whereas chains, like, they're usually open for different hours of the day. So you can go and enjoy food at different times. So it's more limited in that aspect, but I kind of respect that a lot more, that the smaller restaurants are doing the family life, but also, you know, doing this restaurant life at the same time, which is very hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely giving space for that. And hey, if I were doing it, I would want other people to give space for me for that, to do that as well.
Yeah, I feel like with a lot of things, it's always, black owned businesses this and black owned businesses that, but not really taking into account that black owned businesses are small businesses. And a lot of issues that people are having are not black business issues, these are small business issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it stems from, having a lack of capital. Like, you can't just hire, a whole nother person.
No.
Like, your 17-year-old son's free,
Yeah.
like, but hiring a whole nother person that might be outside of what they're able to do. And I always have so much respect for figuring it out and doing it regardless of all of the limitations that are put on small businesses. Because there are some times when I walked up to a business and I was like, I know they're open, but the door's locked. Yeah. And I'm like, why is the door locked? Yeah. I really, please, I really want my smoothie. Yeah. But they'll have a sign on the door or something. And I understand how, people who maybe you're on your lunch break and that's the place you chose to go, right, and now they're not open, how that can feel and be hard. Yeah. And it's not so much as making excuses as it's just understanding that small businesses cannot behave like a corporation. They can't. Yeah. They can't behave that way. And I think the more that we understand and give space for that, the better supporters we can be. Yeah. Because even me as a creator, like, Danessa had to text me and be like, hey, are we going live? And I was like, girl, yes. Because I have 10 million things that I'm doing, multiple pages that I'm doing, multiple like communities and support systems that I'm trying to do out here. And like, sometimes I don't have the bandwidth to do everything all the time. Exactly. But because I have a community like this, someone who literally checked on me, like, well, last week was hard with the whole Target thing. I was like, please, Lord Jesus. Danessa texted me. She's like, girl, how is your mental health? You all right? You okay? Do you need a hug? Those are things that you get with small businesses and communities that makes it special and important. And we have to work within that human aspect if we want to see things succeed. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Those my friend was just telling me about how she pulled up to like one of her favorite food trucks, and she didn't know she was pregnant and on maternity leave, and it just hurt her so bad. But that's just where we are, and we're all happy for her, but she eventually had to like just find another place to eat, and that's okay. Right. And I feel like their food's good. Yeah. Right? I have a place, this is so funny because I feel like this is like, people expect this. I have a place where I go in there and literally I when I'm ordering, I'm shaking because I know when I get to the front, they're like, you better know what you want. But the food is so good that I make sure. Yeah. The food is so good. I will be shaking in my boots at the counter. Please, I just want it. I just want a plate. There's so many like Haitian restaurants. So that's like big in Haitian culture. Like, we know the service is not going to be good.
We know. Okay, sorry, I won't say that. It's probably not going to be good. But we will stick it out. We will get cussed out for the food because it's that good.
I feel like too, sometimes I feel like it feels like a cuss out, but it's not. They're just they're the dynamics of the community is just like different. So all those like niceties of all of that like bubble space that you get with like American culture does not exist in some other cultures. So it's not that they're cussing you out or like mad at you. It's just that they don't do the nicey nicey. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? And let's move it.
Yeah, because we got a line back here.
Yeah. What do you want? But I have those are some of the best places to eat.
Yep.
Especially here in Tampa. And we talked about this when we went out. So we did Black Places in Tampa Bay video. You can go back on either one of your pages, on either one of our pages, and find that video. We did Black-owned businesses in Tampa Bay. And there are more Black-owned businesses here in Tampa than when I moved here, I think like 12 years ago for school. There's a lot more here now. And I would say we even need more because a lot of them is food, which is cool. I like food. But I also want more bookstores, more coffee shops, more, like boutiques. I need the other stuff too. We don't really have a lot of that. But when we were out and we talked about this, we talked about how mid some of the food here in Tampa is.
How
you don't get mid, There's a lot of mid food. Like you'll go to these places that have 5 stars and you're like, who gave this 5 stars?
Yeah.
Who decided this place was 5 stars? Like, because absolutely not. What am I eating right now? What am I eating right now? I don't, for the most part, I don't think I had that experience with small businesses or Black-owned businesses in Tampa.
Yeah.
Usually when I go there and people say the food is good, the food is good.
Yeah. Flavor, seasoned.
Yeah. Good places. But some of like the bigger places, the bigger chain places, they will literally have 5 stars on the restaurant. And you're like, there's no way. There's no way these scallops with absolutely no salt. It's 5 stars. It's just, it cannot be.
Yeah.
It cannot be. So something else that I wanted to talk to you about was like pricing at small businesses versus chain businesses.
Ooh, yes.
How do you feel? Before I start talking, how do you feel?
Okay. So I'm coming from a place of privilege, right? Where I have 2 income, like, so we can afford a lot of the places that we eat at. And 2, I just feel like a lot of people don't understand that people have to make a profit, right? So like with these small owned businesses, I'm like, yes, it costs a little bit more than you're used to paying, but they have to pay their bills. Like a lot of the times they source their food locally, right? So there's another cost to that. So in order for your plate to be what it is, like they have to make some money off of it. And I'm okay with paying for quality food. I really am okay with it. And I just wish that a lot of people would give more of these businesses grace, because at the end of the day, like rent is going up, the leases are going up. And in order for them not to close, they have to charge what they charge. And that's just the reality of it. So it just sucks, because I hear there's this one restaurant owner that we talked to, and she was like, yeah, people love the wings here, but we don't make money off of the wings. Like we make more money off of the chicken sandwiches. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that. Like,
right.
And so that's why this price is the way it is. Like people have to feed their families at the end of the day.
I hear a lot of people say like, it's not my business that you have bills, or that you have to, or that like, that's not on me. Like it costs more for me to go to you, and that's not convenient for me. And I get it. I hear that because we're both talking from a place of privilege where we can go to somewhere and we can eat the food. Yeah. And I feel like that's a really, really, really big part of
Yeah.
it. I will also say though that there is an aspect of, you said most of the businesses that you go to, the small businesses that you go to, they source their ingredients locally.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big part of shopping black and shopping local and shopping small, is supporting your local community. That's a big piece of it. That's one of the reasons why, you know, we say shop black, shop small, all those things, because they're stimulating their local economy as well with the steps that they take. So that's a really, really big deal. And we know that when you shop small and local, that it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm talking about shopping small or black or local, I'm like, this can't be it. Like, it should be for everybody, but you have to be like strategic about the way that it is for everybody.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of cases, like even when, for example, when we were talking about the turret conversation last week, they were saying, you know, I'm not buying a $10 lipstick, like I need to buy food. And I was like, you absolutely right, friend.
Yeah.
You absolutely right. Like I'm not telling you to buy something that you cannot buy.
Yeah.
There has to be steps and channels to shop small or to eat small or to eat black. And I don't know what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that looks like, because a lot of times it is more expensive.
Yeah.
You know? And they do have to make a profit. And that's what businesses say, even when they're not a restaurant, right? They're like, we can't buy in bulk from China. Well, I don't think nobody's gonna be about like bulk from China right now. But you feel me. You feel me. Before this, they're like, we can't buy in bulk, 100,000 units from China. That's not gonna work. I don't have 100,000 units money.
Mm-hmm.
So the less I order, the more expensive it is gonna be for people to shop or to purchase with me.
Exactly.
And I truly don't know the answer to that, because this is a conversation I have a lot. It's just too expensive to do those things. And I'm like, that's that.
And one ask I would urge people to do is to like literally sit down with the business owners and like get to know them, get to know their families, and get to know like, how it is to start a business, to maintain a business, to operate a business. And you'll just, once you get some of that more like context and background, you're going to start to understand. I was like, oh, okay, this is why my sandwich is $17, and I'm okay with paying that because I know what it's going towards. I know like the struggle behind this $17.
Mm-hmm.
Like just sit and have conversations with your local business owners. And it's going to make a lot more sense, because they're not just doing it trying to get rich. Like, I promise you.
Well, because they can't be doing it to get rich. They're not getting the same grants. They're not getting bank loans from the bank the way other people do. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So like when they're running a business, they're starting it with their last dollars.
Girl.
They're bootstrapping all of their money. And I think just because I've been doing this for so long, that is in my head all the time.
Yeah.
It's like ingrained in me. Oh, I didn't, get what I thought I was going to get from this place. But you know what? I saw them running all 15 tables in here. Maybe somebody didn't show up today.
Yes.
Maybe something else happened. But it's important to me that I don't lose the community places that I really love and like and I value.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the empathy enough to know how it is to run their business. And I feel like we're in a really individualistic part of life right now. That, and people don't have money to be expensing big purchases.
Yeah.
And and I don't think it's I lost my train of thought. But
you're good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rock with that. But there's a lot happening right now.
Yeah. And I agree exactly with what you said. Like, we just need to have more empathy from both sides, because they know this economy is tough for us too. Like, they're just, but this is what they have to charge.
Right.
So yeah, pricing is tough, and I'm grateful that I'm able to, afford a lot of the things in Tampa, but I do understand that that's not everyone's experience. But yeah, I think the empathy from both sides will definitely start that conversation.
Yeah, because we can't lose
No.
businesses. When we were doing our Black-owned business hall in Tampa, I literally went to a business in October. Went in October for my wedding.
Hmm.
By the time we posted our video in January, that business had closed.
Oh, that was crazy. I was literally just looking it up on Google to see how to spell it, and I was like, permanently closed. I was like, she just went.
The level of sadness.
Yeah.
The level of sadness. And also a thing for this too is, had that business not reached out to me and let me know they exist, I would have never known they were over there.
Hmm.
I would have never known. And that was an underlying thing on both of the pages that I was running, is that Black-owned businesses, they cannot pay for marketing like other businesses can. So they rely a lot on people sharing them in word of mouth. Yeah, which is why I'm always like, gift your friends Black.
Yeah.
Gift them whatever. Lipstick,
Yeah.
hair comb, whatever you like, gift it to them, because you're introducing somebody to something new.
Yeah.
And word of mouth truly matters, because again, they're not getting the funding that other businesses are getting. They're not getting a million grants. Like, it's not happening. I saw someone else mention in the comments, which I think is a fair point. A lot of times when people are starting a business, they don't know what they're doing until they are doing it.
Oof, yeah.
So you make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I think both of us can even talk about some of the mistakes that we made when we were starting all of this. Like, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Which is a fair point. I don't know if, but again, I don't know if that's not a Black issue. That's a small business issue of starting something and you have no idea,
So I saw this TikTok where it was talking about how, like, we're doing a lot of kids a disservice by, like, saying, you need to be an entrepreneur, you need to be an entrepreneur, you need to be an entrepreneur, and don't work under anybody else. Yeah. And I was like, you're so right. Like, we're pushing this entrepreneur mindset so hard that, like, there are other avenues, right? And we're not even giving people the tools. We're just saying, start your own business, start your own business. And I'm like, okay. And then the people start and they're like, wait, what did I get myself into?
What is all of this?
Wait, yeah. So I absolutely agree. Like, we definitely need to do more research. Not everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. Like, it's very hard. It is not like glamorous and luxury.
Not in the slightest.
Yeah.
Not in the slightest, because like, I think even for when I'm talking to my family and they're like, oh, you post videos on the internet. And I'm like, you're so funny. I'm so glad that's what you think that I do. That's so cute.
Yeah.
But I still have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
I still have to have a business plan.
And who knows how to do taxes as a creator? Like, we're all doing this like for the first time. It's crazy. There's no blueprint.
There's no blueprint. You're just like out here every day being delusional AF, trying to make things happen. Like, that's literally the only way that it works. That's the only way that I'm able to do any of this. And for me, just like other small businesses, I hired a team. And I did, and that's a really good point that I just thought in my head. Hiring the right people is important.
Yeah.
Because you hire the wrong people, it puts you back.
Yeah.
And I think that is a luxury that bigger businesses have, of making mistakes about who they hire, that small businesses do not.
Yeah.
Because it will cost you money
100%.
and time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the business or the mistakes that you made, like, first starting off?
Oh my God. So I thought that I had to have an LLC. I did.
Really? What do you mean?
I really thought that's something that I had to do, but I should have waited until I was bringing in more income before I started that.
Oh, okay. Like, the expenses were more than the income, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And I wasn't tracking them good enough to know that.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was important. I also hired someone to help me with taxes, and they were like, "We help small businesses all the time," but they had no idea how to do creator taxes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a whole important. New industry.
That's really, really important.
Yeah.
What else did I do? I did an event, like, I think it was like 2 years ago, that I probably shouldn't have done, but I wanted to do it. Yeah. I wanted to do it because I wanted to like create a community event, but it ended up just costing me more money than it should have.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have done something at my local bookstore.
Yeah.
But I was letting people like tell me, no, it can be this, it can be that. And I should have trusted my instincts and been like, no. But I didn't.
Yeah.
What about you?
So we just made our LLC last year. So this is kind of like new for us because we're just doing it as a hobby before for like the past 5 years. I would just say like just underselling myself was a really big mistake that I made, like starting off. Like, you know, in the beginning, you're just so grateful to have like any sort of deals or any sort of collabs. So like we made 3 videos for this one company. It wasn't a Black owned company, a big company too, for $300. I was like, wow. So they got each video from us for $100, right? And
my soul is crying for you.
Yeah. And they have been running ads for the past couple years. And I'm like, wow, they got us for $100, but they've been throwing money at this. And so I would say like the biggest mistake was underselling myself for sure.
Yeah.
Not knowing my worth and yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a big deal for just Black creators across the board. Oof. You don't know what you don't know, and you're thinking that you're charging right, and then you're not charging right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I had someone work with me, and I was like, they're a small business. Like, I have sliding scales for small businesses. I do.
Yeah.
But now there's a minimum of how much I will take.
Yeah.
I have a minimum now because I did a sliding scale for one business. I got paid, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think it was like $2,500. They turned around and paid someone that I knew $10,000.
Ooh. No.
What?
Oh my God.
What? No.
Wow.
No. That was crazy. But that happens a lot, you know?
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
That's exactly what D.S. Davis said. You just want to get in there. You're just so grateful for any opportunity.
Yeah. And you know what? It's okay to say no to things that do not align, because sometimes you feel like, oh man, like I really need the money, and I had to like start being like, no, I don't need it that bad. I don't need it that bad. I need it to be aligned. I need it to be something that I like. I've gotten a lot of pushback recently because Black-owned businesses will reach out to me, and I'm like, I've never used you before. I don't even know if I like you. I don't want to feature you on my page. Yeah. But because of the nature of my page, they feel like they should be here regardless. Ooh. You know? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but unless I have tried it and I like it, it cannot be here, because I built this community brick by brick.
The trust, like we built the trust. It takes so hard to build.
Yeah. I built it brick by brick, and you will not be pulling my bricks down. Sorry. Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. We learn.
Yeah, it's a whole like new industry for us as creators, and we're just doing the best we can. Yeah. And we learn, and I think as long as we have our motives on the right track, like we're doing this to genuinely help other businesses, then that's the best we can do.
That's the best. That's the best we got. And some days it looks really hard out here. Yeah. Just so y'all know, some days we be the people who are doing community-based things, we be fighting for our lives on the internet. Fighting for our lives, but it's all worth it when you have a business owner tell you, you shared me the other day, and I have been busy every day since.
Yeah, girl.
That is an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
And I just want to give a shout out to the Tough Spot. It's in Riverview, and it's a business where you can like make your own rug. And so she said, a shout out to Tia. So she said, because like we shared, you know, her video, and there were a lot of other creators that did it too. But she said her name has been mentioned in rooms she's not even in, and she's gotten a lot of opportunities for that. And she sent us in the mail this like award that said making a difference. And I was like, oh my God.
No, but we want to cry. Oh my
God. Like we had just come home from like a 6-hour road trip, and we get home and we're like, wow, like this is why. Like this is why. It makes all of it worth it.
Yeah. You know, I have shared every single thank you card I've gotten from a business for the past 4 years. Wow. And my plan is to make it and frame it and put it in like on my wall.
Do it.
Because that is my why. Yeah. I don't always get a thank you, but when I do, people are literally not going to cry with you, because that is a beautiful gift. That is beautiful.
Yeah. It makes it all worth it.
I want to make sure that I respect your time. We have 30 minutes on this live. Thank you so much for hopping on and chatting with me. If you guys hit this little upside down arrow right here, it'll drop down both of our pages. Make sure you go follow her, follow me. We both live in Tampa. We do all the things. But it was really, really nice talking to you. And I'll see you soon somewhere, I'm sure.
And you're doing more of these, right? Is it like every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be doing them every week with a bunch of different creators, doing all kinds of different things. I just kind of wanted to chit chat with my community.
I love it. Well, all right, thanks for having me, Marissa.
Yeah, thank you. I will see you soon.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.